Hi everyone, welcome back. Till the previous session, we have seen various concepts in karate framework like, what is karate, how you need to install it, how you need to perform a post operation, how you need to perform a get operation, what are all the karate options we have, how to call one feature file in another feature file, what are all the various assertions. These are the basic things that we have studied in a previous sessions. In continuation with that, what exactly I want to show you out over here is here, if you can see my screen, I'm just on one of the public APIs, whatever we have, and I'm just using this users API. This is a get response basically. So what I want to do right now is on this response. So I just copied it and I'm using a JSON formatter now. Okay, so to format the data. So here, what exactly I'm trying to do is the data, whatever we are getting in the response is array of multiple objects. See, it's an array of multiple objects. And here you have multiple sets of data. See here, guys, basically we have a multiple sets of data here. What exactly I want to do right now is my scenario is I want to create, okay? I want to create a scenario in which I want to get the data only for a specific name in the response. What does it mean? If in my response, assume that if I have a data with a name as Surendra, then only capture entire information about that user. Else, don't capture that information. Okay, this is what. So here, what I want to do basically, I want to do a conditional statements basically. If conditional statements are here. And moreover, guys, what exactly we need to do here is we guys need to perform a conditional operation precisely on a JavaScript. Okay, we just need to use a JavaScript in order to perform this a conditional operation. Okay, good enough. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to create a new program here. As I want to perform a get operation, I'm just copying the scenario information from the existing program. And here, my scenario name is verify username information from the response. The URL for this particular one is this is the API URL. I'm updating that API URL and get and then response. Perfect. We are up to here and give a unique tag name at the rate karate video demo. I just created at the rate a karate video demo that I have created. And now I have specified this then. And what we need to do right now, we need to do an assertion on a response. Okay, we need to do an conditional assertion on that particular response. Fine. And moreover, if you observe, there's a data is a array of multiple objects. It means like data of a zero, it will be pointing to this one. Data of 1, this will be pointing to this one. Data of 2, like that there are multiple arrays are there. So I need to use a for loop. In karate we have this evaluation option, eval, which will evaluate any kind of expression whatever we are passing. Okay, so here what I'm going to do means and eval what I want to eval for. So this is the for loop that I want to eval. And I'm defining a variable I is equal to 0 and till when I want to rotate this loop in the response, I have, see here, if you study this JSON formatter, in the response you have a data, and the data is having a multiple values, array of values I can get using a length. So data dot length. Okay, so rotate this one on all the values in that particular data and a I plus plus. Okay, so here you no need to explicitly specify these braces. If what is your condition? Response dot data of I. So I value dynamically it should change. From this data of I, what you are going to capture? The name attribute. So data of I dot name. In JavaScript, in order to verify this one, what I'm going to do here is ends with. I'm just using ends with in JavaScript in order to compare a particular text. So here, what I have seen, basically, the name is having Tenali and or else Gandhi, something, too many names are there. Among all those things, I picked this name, Drutika, okay? And I have a specified in my program. If this condition is true, then the next statement will be executed. Then only this next statement will be executed. So what I want to do, I want to capture all the information into a variable. In this karate, we will be defining a variable with a def keyword. Def is a keyword which we are using in order to define something. So when def, okay, input or output data, output data, I'm defining it. But the problem out over here is whenever we are considering this data, it's an array of values. It means you have a multiple values out over there. So whatever the variable I'm creating, it should be of an array type. Hence, I am defining this as an array. That's it. I have a defined a variable array. And what is my requirement? Whenever that a condition is true. Okay, where is this point? Come back. Whenever this condition is true, this one, right? Yes. Whenever this condition is true, scroll towards end. If this condition is true, into that particular variable, add. What I want to add into that, whatever the response of data, I want to capture their email. See here, email dot email. I have a captured that particular email. When that condition is true, which is Dhruvika, capture that Dhruvika email ID and then print. Okay, what I want to do and then print output data. That's it. I just want to print that output data, guys. That's it. Nothing more than that. So here, if you observe, we have seen couple of new keywords. One is a def, which is going to define a new variable and a define of an array. Evaluate is a keyword which is used to evaluate the expression. For is the one which is used to specify the for loop. If is the one which is used to verify the conditional statements, and add is the one which will be adding down that information to that array. This is what my tag name that I have given, and I'm going to my runner class and I'm running my test. That's it, guys. I'm just running my test now, and let us see whether my response and the print should have only the email ID related to Dhruvika. See here, Dhruti at the rate gmail.com. See here, Dhruti at the rate gmail.com. It captured. For suppose if you want to capture the complete information about the user, you can create a variable for ID, you can create a variable for name, you can create a variable for email, gender, and a status. See here, in the program, I have created only one variable to capture the email ID. If you want to capture multiple sets of data, create a multiple variables and write down the information into a multiple variables. Let me show you a simple example. So here, output, this is an email, right? Let me make it as an output email. So wherever we have used an output, just change it to properly with that name. So here, output email. And after the email, I want to capture what else I can capture. I want to capture the gender. So here, I'm creating a new variable. When def output gender is equal to, I have a defined a gender also. So whenever this condition is true, whenever this condition is true, not only capture the email, comma, output gender dot add. What I want to add from the response for that particular array index dot get that gender. See here, gender. I'm adding that gender too. That's it. We just added the gender. And now here, then print output gender variable. So I have added a one more thing, that's a gender. So if I run my test script, whatever the email ID for this user, so the email ID we have is dhruti@gmail.com and the gender is a female. Both the things should be printed down in the console. Okay, see here we have a two prints. One is this one, which is an email ID, and the second one is a gender that got a printed down to the console. This is the way how exactly we can incorporate conditional statements, looping statements into your Cucumber feature file in Karate framework. Good enough. We'll see you in the next session with another concept, guys. Thank you. Bye bye. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Karate Framework Automation tutorial. As part of the today's class, we are going to study about read content from a Java class and use it in the Karate feature file. Okay, this is what the scenario we are trying to automate as part of the today's lecture. Immediately, a quick question will rise in our mind. Why we need to do this particular activity? What is the use of this particular reading a Java class? As we are accomplishing almost everything within a feature file, why I need this Java class? A quick example out over here is someone asked me a question that, as part of the Cucumber Karate video tutorial itself, is there any possibility to read the data from an Excel file and use it in a Karate framework? So how can you achieve that particular thing? You can create a customized Java method which will read the information from an Excel file and return a list or a map. Whatever it might be, it's going to return it. And later, whatever the list of values are there, you can use these list of values in the program. This is one way of using the Java class or Java methods inside the Karate. And another thing is basically assume that you have an OAuth implementation, authorization implementation in your project, and it's becoming tough for you to deal that access token generation using a Karate framework. Then what you can do means you can create a customized Java class in which write down your logic that will be generating this particular access token and use this as a customized method in the Karate framework so that it will automatically return or retrieve the return value and use it in a program. In these kind of a situations, these are the two examples that I have used in my previous engagements. So maybe depending on your requirement, you can use it. As there is a feature in Karate, we can utilize that. So how exactly we can do that particular activity? So what exactly we need to do means we guys need to create one Java class basically. In that Java class, I just need to maintain my this one, my method. So here I have created a reader class. So, I have already created this particular reader class. In this reader class, I have two methods. One is this particular method, which is login message, where in which I'm just returning a string. This is a simple Java class inside which I'm creating a simple Java methods, guys. And here, one more method that I have is int sum a comma b, and it is returning the sum of these two numbers, a plus b. So these are the two methods that I have created. If you want, you can create a couple more methods depending on your needs. And then I'm switching back to my feature file. And here I just want to write down my scenario. Scenario, read the data from a Java class. I just want to read the data from a Java class. Okay. Then what we need to do. So in Java, guys, if you clearly observe, if there is an information present in this class, and if you want to read this information in another class, usually you will create an object, and using that particular object we can access that particular information if it is a non-static one, right? In Java, object creation is required for us, and using that particular object itself, you can access the information present in one class in another class. The same way here in Karate also, you need to define a variable for the class which has this particular method. So what I'm doing, then def is a variable that I am creating. I'm defining reusable as a name, basically, is equal to, the syntax is, I'm reading a Java type here, and where is my class? In the com, karate runner dot, my class name is a reader. Java.type com.karate.runner.reader. So what exactly this com.karate.runner? If you can see here where exactly my reader class is, it's there in the com.karate.runner. I have just specified that particular path here, followed by dot reader. This is the Java class that I am specifying out over there. So what happened here with this particular line means, for this particular package, this class, it is creating an instance, and that instance was stored in a reusable. That's the reason. Then def, okay, then def, what I want to do right now, I would like to retrieve the sum. Sum value is equal to, in the reusable dot, what is the method we have in order to read the sum or generate the sum, basically. So reusable dot sum, and it is accepting integers 10 comma 10. I have specified that. And whatever this sum method is returning, we are storing that sum method outcome in this particular variable. Finally, and print some value. That's it. I'm just printing this some value here, nothing more than that. So I'm creating an instance to the class, and using that instance I'm calling the method, and I'm storing the return value into a variable, and I'm just printing that variable. And here, video, I'm giving that name as a video reader. Okay, I'm just giving a name out over there. And in the runner class, I'm just updating the name, video runner. So I'm just specifying the tag name, guys. I'm not doing anything else. So here, what we have done, we passed a 10 comma 10, and we are asking it to perform a sum operation on that. I know the sum of these 10 comma 10 is a 20. It should return outcome as a 20 to the console. Okay, it should return outcome as a 20 to the console. Let us execute and let us see. Run as a Java application. So it's executing. Let me maximize the console. See here, our content is there in an example 3, basically. In an example 3 dot a feature, one feature is passed, and the print outcome is a 20. I have a given 10 plus 10, and the print outcome is a 20. For suppose in the reader class, we have another method, which is a login message. This is an outcome from a Java method which we are calling from karate. Okay, which we are calling from karate. Just I have written this particular message. Okay, this is what my method name is, which is a login message which don't have any arguments. So here, wherever I'm calling, so I'm just commenting these two lines. I don't want these method. Then def login message is equal to reusable dot that method name. I'm just calling this method.
That's it, guys. I haven't done anything. I just printed this information here. Okay. Let me try to run my test script and see how it's going to execute. So it's executing. Let us see. Whatever the message, of course, we have a given out over there, it should print. See, somewhere it got a printed. So print. This is the outcome from a Java method that we are calling from the karate. That's it. So this is the way how exactly we can create a Java class and we can maintain the Java method and we can call it, guys. For suppose what I have done means, see, basically I have created an instance with a name as a reusable, but while typing, I just did a typo mistake. I missed A here. And when I run my test script this time, it will take some time to understand these issues, guys. Basically, the major drawback with this particular karate is if we are maintaining these kind of a typo issues, it will be difficult for us to recognize where exactly we missed it. Okay, it got a fail. See here in a JUnit, of course, it will show that particular error message, but in order to understand where exactly we created this issue, it will take some time. Okay, these kind of typos, we guys need to be much more careful. Okay, so this is the way how exactly we can read the information from Java class. Excuse me, we will continue with the further topics in the next session, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.
Hello. Hi everyone. Good morning. Welcome back. So guys, if you remember, as part of the previous session, we have a seen how exactly we can use the conditional statements and other things, right? And even we stored that information in an variable. So the next point out over here is why can't we store that information in an explicit files basically? Okay, why can't we store this outcome of a particular API response in an external files like a txt files or any other files? Immediately, a quick question will rise in our mind why we need to store this information in a file. So, I assume that you are working on a project where in which you just need to validate the content present as part of a API response on a browser. In such situations, what we will do, we will get the API response first and we will store it in these explicitly files. And whenever we are writing down your executing your web browser automation test script, you will explicitly specify that whatever the data we have in these Excel files, it should, or in the text files, it should exactly match with the UI present in the app basically. Such kind of API response and as well as a UI comparison, we can use these particular files. So how exactly we can do that particular things is, so here only thing is and a karate dot write method. What you want to write, whatever the content I have in the output email, I want to write it in mail details dot txt file. I just want to write it in the mail details dot txt file. That's it. Karate write output. So output email dot mail details. What we are storing as part of an output email, if at all certain condition is satisfying, we are storing it in an email. Perfect. So what I'm doing right now, capture this tag name, update this tag name, and now run this test script. I'm just executing this test script. Okay, let us see the API outcome first of all. Okay, yeah, the script got executed successfully. And where this file is going to capture. So the point out over here is within your framework, you have a target and when you refresh that particular target, whatever the file name you have specified, the same file name with the details, it's going to capture that particular here. It's going to capture the complete information here. So in the current situation, I have a written as an output email. For suppose if I, instead of doing this output email, if I did it as a response, what my response contains, whatever the response we are getting from that API, my response contains that complete information. So when I run my test script, it will contain, this time it will contain the whole response outcome inside of that. So what I am doing right now means, let me refresh and let me see the content, close this file and let me open it. See, the existing content got overridden and the complete API response was stored here. It's up to your wish whether you want to validate certain conditions and store that condition outcome here, or directly you want to store down that information. It's up to you. Basically, this is the way how exactly we can store this information, guys. Okay, good. Done the deal. This is all about how exactly we can write down the information explicitly to your files. Okay, then the next point that I want to show you here is, maybe we are not going to cover as part of today's session or this week. So we will be updating the further scenarios in the next week, which will cover how exactly you can read the data from a karate configuration file. And then if you have a explicitly what implementation in a customized Java class, how are you going to call that particular Java class? And how exactly you can perform a reporting, advanced reporting available in Karate. All these three sets of concepts we are going to cover as part of the next week, guys. Not this week. We will be publishing another video in the next week. Okay. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.